As a clinical herbalist and a functional nutrition practitioner, I mainly support clients around supporting low mood symptoms like anxiety, depression, panic attacks, or I've worked with clients who've had traumatic brain injuries and we're addressing brain inflammation that may be impacting their mood and their energy and their focus. And what I notice with these clients is that often they've been struggling for a long time with some really frustrating chronic patterns with their mood and energy. And, it's like they get to this place, they know there's a better version of themselves, if you will, where they can feel calm, embodied, alert, active, engaged with life, instead of feeling like their mood and their energy is really just constantly running the show, keeping them from pursuing their dreams and just engaging fully with life and the people that they love. And so I want to help them get to that point of understanding why these chronic patterns often show up in our mood and energy and what it really takes to shift them. Because sometimes I think we kind of chase symptoms when we're dealing with these chronic issues, again, whether that's with our mood or digestive issues or autoimmune issues. That was my story, right? I had been diagnosed with Hashimoto's thyroiditis, and I struggled with that for so long without understanding what was really driving the show, as I like to say, in terms of these symptoms that were showing up for me of low energy, depression, joint pain, and anxiety at different times as well. And when I understood that my nervous system had a big part to play in how these chronic patterns were showing up for me, and I started working with my nervous system to regulate the state of my nervous system and to shift my nervous system biology, that's when I really started to see these chronic patterns shift. And so I want to talk for just a few minutes about one of my favorite tools for shifting our nervous system patterns and why I always start there, no matter if I'm helping a client with chronic digestive issues or autoimmune conditions or whatever might be going on for them. I know that if we start by regulating the nervous system, that we can often get to this place where we have the energy, the capacity to move forward, and we're actually accessing what I call our healing response, which is really just that parasympathetic state of our nervous system, that state where we are calm, alert, active, engaged, and we're able to move forward in life. Our digestion is working well, our mood is balanced, our immune function is balanced. And one of my favorite tools for helping my clients work on regulating their nervous system biology and shifting out of these chronic patterns is working with herbal mood support, right? A botanical medicine to regulate the nervous system. And the reason that herbs are my go to tool, if you will, for supporting my clients is, as I like to say, they really do it all. And I want to share with you 7 reasons why I think that herbal mood support, botanical medicine, if you will, is foundational for anyone who is struggling with their mood. Again, whether that's anxiety, panic attacks, depression, low energy, uh, panic attacks. I think I said panic attacks, but traumatic brain injuries, right? All of these different patterns that can show up. And again, they often become chronic and they're hard to shift, and we can get so frustrated that we're trying to do so many good things, maybe eat well, take some supplements, maybe we're already taking herbs. And when we know how to use herbs correctly to balance the nervous system response, then we can get some real results. So let's talk about 7 reasons why I again think herbal medicine should be foundational for anyone struggling with these chronic patterns. Number one, herbs can help with regulating our HPA axis response to stress. Basically, they increase our resilience to stressors that we may be facing. It's sort of like building our muscle that we have to handle the stress in our life. And that means we don't get overwhelmed as quickly. And our nervous system then doesn't go into a chronic freeze pattern, right? This low energy state of overwhelm that is actually a nervous system response that keeps us stuck in these chronic patterns. So, if we can bring more resilience to our stress response, and adaptogens, especially, are herbs that are really special in being able to regulate this HPA axis response to stress. Number two, a lot of herbs also can enhance neurotransmitter function, and that will help to balance our mood, can improve mental clarity and even energy. I often use herbs to help clients who are struggling with eating challenges, maybe eating disorders, or they're reaching for unhealthy coping mechanisms like alcohol, for example. And as we regulate our neurotransmitter function, which are those feel good chemicals in the brain that help us to regulate our mood, we can get to a place where we aren't as dysregulated, right? We don't have that need to reach for something to regulate our nervous system, which is really what we're doing when we're reaching for substances like alcohol or sugar or carbs because we feel overwhelmed and we're using those substances for comfort. So herbs can be really powerful actually in regulating our neurotransmitter function like serotonin, dopamine, GABA, endorphins. So I'm always starting with neurotransmitter support in the terms of herbal support with my clients struggling with their mood. Number three, I love how herbs can also help improve our energy at the cellular level and can also help enhance immune function. Now, we know at the cellular level, in order to make energy, we need strong mitochondria, right? Those little tiny powerhouses of our cell where we actually turn food and nutrients into energy. And if we have impaired mitochondrial function, which can happen for any number of reasons, including toxins, pathogens, inflammation, then we are not making energy at the cellular level. And a lot of research that is being done right now concerning chronic anxiety and depression and other low mood patterns is focusing on how mitochondrial function and energy metabolism are really at the root of some of these chronic patterns. So, as we regulate our ability to make energy, we can actually shift our mood as well. Number four, herbs can help with opening up drainage and detoxification pathways. So we know that one of the factors that can impact our energy and our mitochondrial function, as I just mentioned, is toxins and pathogens. And if we have a sluggishness in our detoxification pathways, basically we start to kind of have this buildup of toxins, and herbs are actually really amazing at being able to open up these drainage pathways, enhance our detoxification systems. So we're moving out those toxins and metabolic waste products that often are just kind of causing the sluggishness and stagnation that can then impact our mood and energy. Number five, herbs can be wonderful improving our digestive function as well as offering nutritive support to the body. As a functional nutrition practitioner, I often have my clients assess certain nutrient deficiencies that can be playing a pretty significant role in low mood symptoms. So many of my clients, when we dig into some functional lab testing, they're low in things like zinc, vitamin D, antioxidants, omega 3s. And herbs actually can be really lovely at enhancing and offering nutritive support to the body. Minerals, especially, a lot of our herbs can be really mineral rich, and minerals play a role in our detoxification pathways as well. We can use herbs to enhance our digestive function so that we are digesting our food better, getting the nutrients from our food more efficiently. And so, herbs are really lovely to support digestion. If I'm working with a client who has some digestive upset, right? Maybe they're dealing with gas, bloating, indigestion, heartburn. Herbs can be really supportive of shifting digestive function back into balance. And we know that through the brain gut connection, right? That if we have gut inflammation, that can lead to brain inflammation, which is often playing a role in these low mood symptoms like anxiety and depression. Okay, number six, herbs are also amazing at enhancing neuroplasticity and protecting the brain from oxidative stress that can cause accelerated aging and brain degeneration. And so some big words there, right? So let's talk about that. Neuroplasticity, basically that is the ability of the brain to change, to grow, to create new neuronal pathways. And this is pretty fascinating actually in how this can impact our ability to regulate our mood and shift out of chronic low mood symptoms like anxiety and build new pathways where we are improving brain function. And again, this can be protective of the brain throughout the lifespan. So, sometimes these signs of low energy, low mental function, uh, low mood symptoms, maybe brain fog showing up, those can be early signs of brain degeneration, which is kind of scary to think about. But the good news is that we can do a lot to support and protect our brains through our lifespan. And herbs are absolutely essential for protecting the brain, in my opinion. So nootropic herbs like bacopa and maybe ginkgo, gotu kola can be really lovely in protecting the brain from that oxidative stress that can be so damaging and lead to these low mood symptoms. And then finally, number 7, I want to talk about how herbs can help with regulating our mood on a more emotional level, right? If we're using herbs to enhance our limbic system response, which helps to regulate our emotions. And we can also use herbs to release stored grief and trauma and other stored emotions when we use them as part of a healing protocol to address these types of low mood symptoms. And so that's why I love starting with herbs as this foundational piece of working with anyone who's struggling with chronic patterns in their mood and energy, because it's really essential that we support that nervous system biology when we're struggling with chronic patterns. And herbs are foundational for doing that. They really do it all, as we just talked about in those 7 reasons why herbal support is really foundational for supporting our mood. So I hope that you'll give herbs a chance if you're not already using them. Start working with some adaptogens, some nootropics, some nervines that help regulate our nervous system response to stress as well, because these can be really powerful tools for regulating that nervous system response to stress and enhancing our nervous system biology.